Hello and welcome to Awakening the Blog. Today I'd like to share another part of the twin flame story that it is a follow-up of the chapter on the inner peace of unconditional love. In that chapter I exposed my twin flame to the public, and it was the first time I did that. And obviously I shared that with him, I told him, and he approved as long as it was going to help somebody. It was interesting after that. I kept having this movement of the fourth chakra energy along with the Kundalini energy that I've been dealing with since 1998, I believe. And I wrote him, besides doing the video, I wrote him a letter about what's been going on, this energy movement and this process of unconditional love that he didn't answer. And after that, he's been silent for all these weeks. And he has run away. I've heard people use the runaway syndrome in the twin flame story. And I have felt that the running away is not only because at his personal level he's probably not knowing how to deal with what's happening to me and the unconditional love experience. But I have felt also a retreat of his energy around my energy field. And that's more or less what I would like to focus on this chapter that I'm calling The Roller Coaster Continues. And it's basically because after that amazing moment, and when the energy of that unconditional love and the fourth chakra opening and the Kundalini energy continues to keep moving, but specifically what happened regarding the fourth chakra started to fade away, and I came back to my regular human life. The feeling that the energy, the what I call the soul energy that is normally in contact with me, also sort of retreated a little, that I imagine goes hand in hand with his own personal fear, has awakened a lot of doubts. Obviously, in my case, at least has been very skeptic about all the process, but now the doubts have awakened again. And also the fractal memory on how we repeat through lifetimes certain processes. And what I've been focusing on is this feeling of sadness, not only because of the situation in the whole world, which is pretty chaotic, sad, the corruption around, and how humans are choosing to live more in darkness than in light, because it takes a lot of inner work to live in the light. And the need for grounding the kind of powerful energy that twin flames can bring to the world. That's why I'm sure many twin flame relationships are coming together, because we need a change in our habits, in our patterns. We need to change the collective unconscious. And for that change to happen, a lot of twin flames have to come together and work on the change. And in my case, it's been a little frustrating because he's kept silent, not only for these weeks, but the communication with him has been very limited to WhatsApp. And we cannot really go very deep into any sort of communication as we used to when we started our exchange. And therefore, it's rather hard for me to know what's happening with him, except what it's regularly happening to him, that in terms of the relationship, and that is what he has told me many times, that he's not in love with me, that I'm not his twin flame, or not even a soulmate, and yet his need to keep in contact with me for reasons that I'm sure he doesn't even understand, and though I've asked him about it, he doesn't know what to answer, or not even understand what keeps him connected to me. This situation makes it very hard for me, because I doubt, is he really my twin flame? If he doesn't want to do much with me in terms of connectedness or feelings, then am I creating this? Am I really just creating this story? And I have had to go through this search in me. I asked the universe for help, but obviously it came a moment where I said, okay, if I need to really grab the answer and be certain of it, I cannot keep on depending on outside resources or asking the universe or any light beings to help me, because it's a reflection of my own insecurity about my relationship with myself and my inner resources. And obviously we go through a phase of insecurity in that relationship, because the desires and the strength of the ego is so big that we confuse our intuition with our desires or what we want things to be like. And so obviously that makes it hard to really trust. Am I trusting my intuition? Is this really my intuition, or is this the voice of the ego and my desires? And so, it's this complete duality that we live in, and the work we really need to do to let go of so many things, beliefs and desires and everything, so we can just be with what is. And so I tried. I really said, okay, you want an answer? Stop asking for the answer outside and just calm yourself down and ask. Did really all the experiences I had, spiritual experiences that I've shared in the other chapters, did they come because I asked for them? No. None of those experiences happened because I asked for them. They just happened. And they happened with him, with his soul. It is really sad for me to realize that I've received so much from him at a soul level, and so little at a personal level. It just doesn't make sense. It's sad that my life has been transformed, but I have been completely unable to find a way to touch him so he can transform his. If we are twin flames, I thought that whatever I did on myself was going to affect him. I don't know, because he has closed himself and he's not wanting to talk much lately. And I watched many times the photos that I uploaded in the Inner Peace of Unconditional Love, because I wanted to really breathe in whatever they were transmitting to me. And it's interesting that I found how much we are the polar opposites. It's so interesting to see in the details of our facial expressions and the design of our faces, our bodies, and everything. Because you see, for me, the major symbol that that exemplifies that it's really a portrait of twin flames is the Tai Chi symbol, which is the yin and yang symbol. polar opposites, that they are one, they become wholeness when they are one, and the yin has a little bit of yang inside and the yang has a little bit of yin inside. Therefore, I know if we're twin flames that he has part of me inside of him and I have part of him inside of me. I don't think I have access completely. I have not been able to access neither the whole part of me or the part of him in me. And obviously, he's so far beyond inner work that I'm sure he has not been able to access either or. And if we are a reflection of each other, I was always wondering, why is it that, I've done so much inner work and I feel that I'm growing and evolving and reconnecting spiritually, and he's not. He's stuck on not wanting to do the inner work. And I said, what is he reflecting of me? I mean, where am I stuck? And you see, again, the yin and yang, the polar opposites, how amazing it is. Like, he's so disconnected from spirit, where I'm so connected to spirit. But he's connected to the body, where I'm not. Not as connected, I imagine most people are. I always have felt that my connection to the body is not reflecting my own energy. And so I started feeling a bit awkward about it. And I said, okay, maybe if I start working on my physical issues, my overweight and lack of connection to feeling that overweight, because I feel it, but not as much as I should feel it. I feel lightweight. Maybe my spirit is light, and so I'm connected to spirits. I feel light, but not to the physical body. And maybe if I do that work, maybe it will pop up something for him at the spirit level. And then I ask myself, do I have to do the work? I mean, is it me who has to do the work? I mean, why doesn't he do something as well? I know that maybe the openness to the spirit level might be a little more difficult for those who are so attached to the body. As much, the ones that are connected to the spirit might have the difficulty for the attachment to the body. And I started feeling when he started sort of running away or disconnecting maybe for a little bit, this huge sadness that comes from very deep inside, that I felt that in the process of us being born and separating, whenever we were created and we came as one and we separated, and we went on the journey of discovering until we came back to the journey of uniting again and going back into the light. That the deepest sadness we have is this sadness of separation. That's why we yearn so much to be one with another, to come back to what we call home. I felt since the beginning that he was my home, and that I was his home as well, but he doesn't feel it, so not much I can do. At least until wherever it's his time to see it. And the separation brings up all this pain and inner pain and suffering for being separated and disconnected from home, being taken away, ripped apart from home. It's a horrible feeling. But also we need to go through that phase in order to realize what the feeling of oneness is and how important it is for us, that because we are actually looking for that experience of wholeness back again, at least for people who are more aware of twin flame relationships or soul relationships. It is very evident that we are looking for that wholeness, but the wholeness that comes from the spirit level. And so right now I have had to go through all this sadness and grieving and letting go for feeling that separation. And still, always going back to that experience of unconditional love, to be held in that experience of unconditional love, to remind myself that no matter how long it is going to take, this lifetime, maybe a couple more lifetimes, I don't know, that's the mystery of existence. But we're always going to meet and be joined. I wish there were more and more twin flames that come together and meet at the spiritual level and manifest it on the physical level, because we need to transform the collective unconscious. There's a urgent need to transform, because we cannot go on living in the dark night of the soul at the collective unconscious. We can't do that anymore. The world is going to collapse. And unless we do this work of transforming ourselves, reconnecting to spirit, which is very difficult when we have been so focused on the outer world, on what our senses, our five senses see in our interaction to the external world. And we have disregarded this inner voice and the connection to the inner world. We've lost connection to spirit. And that's why we are living this greedy world where, there's so much darkness. And humans, we like conflicts. We like to live in darkness so we can find the light. We live in duality, anyway. Yet, there are so many of us here, and unless we find a way to plant the seeds of light and the connection to spirit back again into the collective unconscious, we are going to collapse. That's why twin flames need to keep on working on themselves and try to bring the new energy to the world. Because otherwise, I don't find any other real purpose of being here at this moment in time. Either we create a new world, or the world is going to be in charge of us and make us disappear, or something closer to that. Let's be mindful of that, and that we live life by moments. And I wish I would have kept in that 4th chakra opening and the compassion and the unconditional love, and that I extended that for every single moment in my life. But life is like a roller coaster. It's not a straight line. And now, after that, it went downhill and crashed. And I gotta pick myself up and continue finding new ways of dealing with the process. Because now that I'm in pain, I'm looking for new paths, for new ways of dealing with the situation. Because it's always new, even though it's happened again and again in different ways. It's somehow always new, because we're constantly changing. And so this again is a reminder that when we reach a point, we need to enjoy it if it's a really nice moment, because it's going to pass. It's like a page of a book. It's going to be over in a minute. And then we're going to go downhill, and then again uphill, and then maybe straight line, and then up, down, and up, down. And that's just how it is. I'm just hoping to be able to find him in me and find a way that I can support him in a better way. For that, I need to get out of the way. The I, that's always on the way. Need to get out of the way. that can take a couple more years. But I'm really willing to find a way. And I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll keep sharing what I find on the process. That'll be for now. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also you can follow us on our Facebook, which is awakening.goypaz. And you add a .com, and that's our webpage. And we also have a Twitter, which is goypaz. And I'll keep sharing. You know, I know that for me it's sometimes a bit difficult to share the personal parts, because too much eye on the way. But I've realized that it is probably more helpful for people when I share the ups and downs and the goods and the bads, and it's the path that we travel here. I hope to receive some light from this wonderful being, and that I could reach to my own light. And I think it's all possible. We just got to do it. We just got to find a way and do it. And we can. That's for sure. Okay. Until the next time, thank you so much.